What's up, folks? I'm doing an 11-month warranty inspection today. Come with me and check out some of the things I'm finding. Starting here in the garage, you can see I have this panel off the wall right now. That panel houses what's called the concrete encased grounding electrode, or the OOFER ground. It's a piece of rebar that's embedded in the foundation. Usually around these areas, we see one of these to supply ground, and we also see a grounding rod outside with a wire attached to that as well. We're gonna take a look at all that today. Let's start with this one. Let me take you in for a closer look. So if you have a look here, we can see a wire not clamped to anything. You can see the rebar and the clamp back over here, but the wire actually never got attached to anything. So that's gonna do nothing. It's not gonna do its job at all. I found that today because they're usually housed behind these little panels, usually in the garage, and I always take these off to see what they look like, and this is what we're seeing here today. All right, so moving along to the outside, we got our gas meter here. Now there is supposed to be gas pipe bonding, usually present in this area, sometimes in some other areas, but what that basically means is that the gas piping needs to be, it's metal, and so to ensure that it doesn't conduct electricity, it needs to be bonded to the home's grounding system. And what we see here today is we have a clamp here and a wire coming out of the wall that would usually be clamped to it. The only problem is that this clamp isn't attached to bare metal. So it's not going to do anything like that, but it's not going to do anything anyway because the wire actually isn't in the clamp at all. So a couple of things need to be corrected here. Now moving on down here, you can see our grounding rod down here and the wire coming out here that is attached to it. The problem is that the clamp is really loose. I could pull this grounding wire out if I wanted to. I do not want to. We're going to leave that there, notated in the report so they can come here and correct it. All right, moving on down here, same side of the house, we have the electrical disconnect for the AC here. I have no problem with it. I mean, it seems fine. Everything inside here is okay. It's sealed along the top, sealed along the side. It's actually open along the bottom, so if moisture gets back there, it has a way out. The problem is they left a gaping hole and exposed wires over here. There's no mortar and no sealant in this area, sealing up that. So, I mean, moisture, but just about anything can get in this large hole right there and get inside the house, inside the wall cavity. We do not like that. All right, so it's like the same story, but on a different house. We have two exhaust fans here. This one's actually okay, but this one here, you can see they painted over them, and so the louvers aren't really opening up very well, and so we don't really love that, but it's not really a big deal. At least it's opening a little bit, and actually some exhaust is getting out here, but that's not why I brought you over here. I brought you over here to show you this expansion joint. You can see this expansion joint here. We've got sealant in the joint. That's great, but as we move on up here, we can see that they didn't put any sealant up here. They just stopped and only did the lower one. There's no backer rod, there's no sealant, nothing in that joint whatsoever. Kind of a funny thing here, as I was inspecting this roof, you know, I look at the shingles and I look at everything else that I can see while I'm up on the roof, but I also look at anything like the siding here, where they didn't paint the back side of this piece of trim. That's pretty lazy. And then sort of the same thing over here. Let me take you over to it here, see if we can see it. They painted the trim, but they just didn't paint quite enough. They didn't get that little bottom piece. Just sheer laziness. All right, now I see something up here that I've never seen before. And I don't know what the purpose is. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so we have a gutter downspout here, and as you can see, it has something on it called gutter gate. I guess opens kind of like a damper whenever water's running through it and closes whenever it's not. I just don't see the point of it. Are we worried about things getting in this? And getting into the gutter system? I would be more worried about things getting out, and I don't want that path to be obstructed in any way. So I just really don't see what the point is of that. If anybody has any ideas on why that's there and why that product exists, please let me know. I'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is just some of the things that I found on this 11-month warranty inspection today. Give me a call because I'd like to inspect your next house. Okay, Matt with Texas Edge Home Inspections. I'm out of here. Bye now.